Hey there people of the internet, my name is Sivana and welcome to my studio. I have just been on a huge Minichi kick lately, so in this video, in addition to drawing a Fakemon, I'm going to talk a bit about what I've been working on. But first, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already to stay up to date on all of my new Minichi news. Now let's just get into the drawing so I can explain what's going on here. Firstly, this design began as a fusion, as you can see, but now she is so much more. Not only is she the perfect winter/Christmas type Mon, but she is also the first Mon I have fully redesigned, which you will see later in the video. Yeah, this is a weird one. The first design and redesign in the same video. It's just the first of many because I have a problem. So before I get into the Minichi news, I'll talk a bit about this first design. The Vanillite and Jinx fusion is what started it all, and I thought, oh my gosh, a Snow Woman Pokemon. And I didn't want it to just be original Jinx, but I did want a pre-evolution that was kind of like Smoochum or Gothorita. And these are Ice and Water types. I gave them the Water type as part of their lore, and because Ice is just cold water. I also wanted them to be performers, like dancers and singers, which becomes much more evident in the redesign. But for now, we have Coldella, named after Cold, Ballerina, and a little bit of Cinderella in there because the color scheme. At first I wanted them to still be based on ice cream, so Coldella has a mini layered skirt and their shiny was Neapolitan colors, which is vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. And my Skinny Jinx ripoff is Bellarime, named after Belle, a name meaning beauty, and Ballerina, and rhyme, which has something to do with the cold, also because most songs have rhymes in them and singing is a type of performance. Okay, so time for Minichi stuff. Like many Fakemon artists out there, I'm sure, I want to move beyond Pokemon. So instead of these creatures being called Pokemon or Fakemon, they're going to be something entirely separate. I have been really motivated to make these guys into my own monster collector game, but I don't want it to be associated with Pokemon for, obvious legal reasons. I also wanted to add my spin on the genre like many others. I've been playing Temtem, Monster Sanctuary, and awaiting Pal World, and they've all just given me so many really good ideas. But before I get off track, these things need a name that doesn't end in Mon. I struggled with this a lot, and I did a butt-ton of research, and I have landed on two. Yes, two names for these creatures. So, much like Pokemon and Digimon, they are two words mashed together, Pocket Monster, Digital Monster, but they have also had another name. They're called Your Partner. So here in Minichi, we have Phaezoan Familiars. Phaezoan is a mix of Fae, which are magical little creatures, things like fairies, but the term is very broad, and Zoan, which is a suffix used to classify various organisms like animals, plants, and even humans. So their creature type is Phaezoan, like a Pokemon is a Pokemon. And then when you capture one to battle under you, it becomes your familiar. So like there are wild Pokemon and partner Pokemon, and these will be Phaezoan and Phaezoan Familiars, or just simply Familiars. Don't worry, I will explain all of this again in its own dedicated video. I just kind of wanted to explain why I'm doing a design overhaul and why things are changing. I will still call them Fakemon in the titles of the videos for now because the YouTube algorithm likes that. Another reason for the redesigns is I wanted to give all of my creatures more distinct personalities, because some of them were just very bland. As for Coldella and Bellarime, I mostly wanted to change Bellarime. She's supposed to be a performer, and the first design just made her look sad, so she's getting a total makeover. I knew I wanted Coldella to basically be the same, but just tweak her skirt a little bit because all of those layers were actually annoying. Oh, and they will no longer have Neapolitan colors as they're shiny because I couldn't get it to work. But it's fine. I kept Bellarime's dress mostly the same because it was my favorite part of her, but I just wanted it to be more. I wanted her to look like some famous person, with her sparkly dress and fur collar and long-ass rich lady gloves. She is a star, and I love her new design so much. As you can see, I was trying a few different things and kinda just playing with Lego pieces until I found a combination that I liked. I've been doing that a lot lately. I think what really solidified this design was getting the face right, and oh my god, she pops. I love her so much. Now time for some lore. So in the long time ago, the species that is now called Coldella and Bellarime used to be pure water type, but because of a certain evil legendary, the land they lived on grew extremely cold, so they had to adapt. Thankfully, ice is just cold water, so they figured out a way to protect themselves by using ice and snow as clothing or armor, so that the freezing winds from Wendigost wouldn't reach their liquid core. Now, after a long time of evolution, their liquid core is encased in a shell of ice, giving them the powers and capabilities of both elements. And the reason they look so humanoid is because they spent so much time around humans and they wanted to mimic their appearance. These Phaezoan in particular evolved closely alongside humans in civilization, which is also where their personality comes from. They like to perform because it makes people happy, and when people are happy they tend to be nice. These little snow gals are just all about positivity. And yes, they are purely female, but can still reproduce like those one weird lizards. I don't know, I haven't thought about breeding or eggs yet, I'll get there. I also wanted to use this kind of Christmassy special episode to show off my new Dex layout. So in normal Fakemon it would be the Pokédex layout, but for mine it is the Zoan Dex, so the Zoan Index for the Phaezoan creatures. Coldella, the Ice Dancer. Coldella loved to dance and play on or near the many lakes of Minichi. Humans once believed the myth that Coldella and its evolution were responsible for the lakes freezing over during winter. They are fairly common and often used to teach people ballet or ice skating. They are incredibly friendly and adore playing with young children. Bellarime, the Ice Diva. When Coldella evolve into Bellarime, they become very confident in their capabilities to sing, dance, and even act. Famous actress and champion tamer, Ray Deonte, has modeled her aesthetic after the rare alternate shiny form of Bellarime. Their hair resembles the Aurora Borealis and acts like a protective shield for their signature ability, Aurora Veil. You will probably also notice that their stats are a little different, but I will go over that in a different video. I wanted to keep the color scheme the same as the original, but make it a bit more glam. I played with some effect brushes to get this nice icy texture on some parts of them, made the water of Bellarime's dress have this pretty reflective pattern, and added some twinkling stars in her Aurora hair and her fabulous dress, because fresh snow just looks so sparkly, like glitter. And since this is no longer a Pokemon project, I've been making new abilities and moves. Bellarime's signature ability was going to be called Aurora Sparkle, but that didn't really make sense for what I wanted it to do, so it is now called Aurora Veil, which is a Pokemon move, I know, but I don't care, this is my thing, they just have this similar name. So Aurora Veil says, during hail or snow weather conditions, all incoming physical damage is reduced by half. So she would be using her Aurora hair to make like a protective shield in front of her to stop incoming damage and or snow or hail, that kind of thing. And it's also something she could use as like a field move in the overworld, kind of like how monsters in Monster Sanctuary have their own special kind of field abilities. Like the birds can help you glide, fire types can burn things down, things like that. But of course, all of these abilities and moves are subject to change because I am not a game designer, I don't know how to make things balanced. This is all just flavor and fun, things that I thought were cool. And speaking of cool, Coldella's ability would be Ice Skater, which says, ice moves have a chance to freeze the terrain, increasing this Phaezoan's speed. And I know nothing about balancing, but this just sounded fun, and like I said, it's very flavorful, and could be used in the overworld, so Coldella could freeze running water, and you could cross it like a bridge. And then Bellarime will protect you from blizzards, with her hair, somehow. And then if I do make Aurora Sparkle another ability, it would probably be about like being so fabulous that she's blinding the opponent and like reducing its effectiveness or increasing her evasiveness, something like that. I'm what they call a top-down kind of creator. I care about the aesthetic, like the visuals and the flavor first, and then we'll figure out mechanics later. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my ice ladies and like this new change. I'm really excited about it all, and I hope you are too. These are still going to be classified as Fakemon for the YouTube algorithm, but just know that they're not actually Pokemon. They're not actually Fakemon. You get it. You know what I mean. Anyway, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. And as always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.